Thank you very much for being here on a Sunday. As Honorable MP, also media in charge, Anil Baluniji has said, PMS had a very impactful tour of the United States, and as we talk, he's in Egypt. I just want to very quickly, I understand Honorable Minister Smriti Irani and also Minister Hardeep Puri has addressed you all about the visit of Honorable Prime Minister to the United States in great detail. I just want to bring to your notice a few highlights of the US visit, which are very important, and then carry forward to what is the visit's impact in Egypt. So, among the several things, the first emphasis is on the fact that it was a bipartisan invitation which was given to Honorable Prime Minister to address the Joint House. And it was a very significant event for the second time for a Prime Minister to be called to address the joint session of the US Congress and the Senate, and to have received such a standing ovation is a matter of pride for all of us in this country. And during that visit and during that speech in particular, Honorable Prime Minister has expressed very clearly where India and US relationships stand and what is it that it can do towards global order. So I'm extremely happy to say it was a visit where both India and United States have taken warmly to each other and established such steps towards greater realization of our national goals. Most often these visits also accompany with meeting of great eminent thinkers, leaders. So this visit also, PMS had meetings with CEOs, various CEOs, Nobel laureates and so on. But what I would want to highlight is the fact that even yoga, which was done in the UN campus, had 132 nationalities participating in it. So it drew great attraction, and as a result, taking yoga to a level that has got recognition all over the world is a very important aspect that I would highlight. But from the announcements post the visit, I would like to highlight the fact that semiconductor supply chains, Micron technology for instance, is likely to invest 800 million towards 2.75 billion semiconductor assembly and test facility in Gujarat. And this itself will give more 5,000 to more than 5,000 new direct jobs, and also 15,000 what we call indirect job, what they call as community level jobs. We are also becoming a part of an alliance of rare earths and materials, and in this it is expected to support more than 2 billion planned investment. Center for the Semiconductor Center for Commercialization and Innovation, which is being set up in Bengaluru, will have in its first 5 years of operation itself, the center is expected to support more than 2 billion planned investments, 500 new advanced engineering jobs, and potentially another 2,500 jobs in manufacturing ecosystem. Now, this is a very big step forward. Similarly, Semiverse Solutions, which will train up to 60,000 Indian youth into artificial intelligence and use of semiconductor-related education and workforce development goals will get fulfilled. Critical mineral partnership, which I've already mentioned. Quite a few of these companies are coming out and wanting to set up these capacities in India because lithium and cobalt and the use of these rare earths are going to make the future of energy and energy transition. So that's a second. Space also had great lot of achievements. Advanced training will be provided. NASA will be providing advanced training to ISRO, and that will also help for a joint effort to the International Space Station in 2024. Advanced telecommunication has also had agreement. India and US launched public-private joint task force for the development and deployment of open RAN systems. I'm just giving you the highlights and not going into the details of everything. Quantum and advanced computing has also received a joint Indo-US quantum coordination mechanism. You know, it was announced as a part of our budget. And then they will also support joint research in artificial intelligence, quantum, and advanced wireless technologies. And then there is also the arrangement with the National Science Foundation, which is the US body, and it announced that 35 joint research collaborations will also happen with the India's Department of Science and Technology, and they have also signed a new cooperative arrangement with the METI ministries. Department of Atomic Energy has also had a share in the agreements, is making 140 million in-kind contribution to the US Department of Energy. And finally, the seventh item is on innovation and fiber optics investments. India's Sterlite Technologies Limited has invested 100 million in the construction of optical fiber manufacturing units in Colombia, and that will facilitate 150 million in annual sports. But beyond all this, I'd certainly like to draw your specific attention for directly some very important defense production-related announcements. GE, which is the biggest of aeronautics companies, has signed an agreement with HAL for joint production of F414 engines, aircraft engines. Now this will be made in India. 80% of technology is getting transferred. Now I highlight this because it is HAL, about which repeatedly the Indian opposition sheds crocodile tears. What's happening to HAL? Bangalore, you're not doing much to it. Please understand, HAL is what is going to have this joint production agreement with the GE. Second, and these made in India engines will be used for HAL's own Tejas aircraft. You know, Tejas is a completely Indian made aircraft for which the engine now is being the GE F414 engines. Then we are also getting unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. The Sea Guardian MQ-9B is being brought into India. One of the biggest strength which we can provide to our armed forces. You also have an agreement, master ship repair agreement. India will now become the biggest center for ship repairs. Already the US Navy has concluded an agreement with the Kattupalli, which is very close to Chennai, Larsen and Toubro shipyard, where India will be the center and will be the hub to repair most of the major ships. And further, they are also trying to sign up with Mazagon Docks in Mumbai and with also Goa shipyard. So is also 3 Indian liaison officers who are going to be placed in the US command, and this will be very good in building our mutual capacities, and also emphasize on the Defense Accelerated Ecosystem, IndusX, which was inaugurated on June 21st, 2023. This will be a network of universities, startups, industry, and think tanks, and this will facilitate in joint defense technology innovation. There are also several people-centric steps which have been taken. You heard Honorable Prime Minister himself announce that for the H-1B visa extension, Indian citizens do not need to come back to their home country, but they can renew it even being there. That will save a lot of effort for our own people, otherwise they keep coming back and waiting to get it renewed. You also heard that there are 2 new consulates which are getting opened, Bengaluru and Ahmedabad. Fulbright Kalam Climate Fellowship, additional facilities also being brought in. 100 additional US undergraduate students will study or intern in India. This is also being people-to-people measure. And those who are interested in knowing, India is funding the establishment of a Tamil Studies chair in University of Houston. Aviation deals, which are commercial deals, have also happened just in time before Honorable Prime Minister went to US. So you've heard about that. Many other commercial decisions which I'll draw your attention to are Amazon, which will bring $15 billion US and 26 billion in the country to investments to be made here. You heard Alphabet Sundar Pichai talking about opening a fintech center, global fintech center in Gujarat, and indigenization is happening there. So I've just given you some highlights of the visit to the United States. But this minute, I like to highlight the fact that during his visit, which is ongoing in Egypt, our Prime Minister has been awarded the highest award, Order of the Nile. This is one of the oldest in the sense it existed in Egypt even before Egypt became a republic. During the emperor's rule earlier, also they had this award, but in 1953 this award was restarted under the Republic of Egypt, and it's the highest award being given. And it's a proud moment for India. Honorable Prime Minister has received the highest civilian awards from 13 countries together with this award, and of which 6 of them come from countries which have population which is highest in Islamic Muslim population. 6 Muslim-dominated population countries, totaling, all of them total to 13, 6 plus the rest, so total 13 countries have given. And in this visit, I like to highlight a few things which are equally important. Honorable Prime Minister was welcomed by the Prime Minister himself of Egypt. Just one minute, get the papers ready. And other than being received by the Prime Minister himself, the Grand Mufti of Egypt has also received him and given him all the honors. In Egypt's history, the Grand Mufti holds a very high and respectable position. He was received by them. Other than that, the Indian Muslim community called the Bohras, they run a very big mosque there, and in that mosque, Honorable Prime Minister was invited and taken to visit, and even that has gone down so well. The chief of that mosque has also received Prime Minister. This visit is of a Prime Minister of India coming after 26 full years, when the last visit of Honorable Prime Minister from India had happened. So this visit has attained quite a high prominence in Egypt. Other than meeting the Indian community, he had also set up an institution of excellence even there. So I think this visit to Egypt attains great importance. मैं ज़्यादातर इंग्लिश में बोल दिया, रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है अनिल बलूनी जी से थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलने के लिए। सिर्फ मैं इतना कह सकती हूँ कि अब तक मैंने यूएस विजिट के बारे में संक्षिप्त में बोला है, क्योंकि इससे पहले माननीय मंत्री स्मृति ईरानी जी भी और हरदीप पुरी जी भी आपको विस्तार से इस विषय में आकर आपसे संबोधित किए, मगर मेरे तरफ से ये मैं जानकारी आपको देना चाह रही हूं कि भारत की प्रधानमंत्री जी का सेकंड जॉइंट सेशन में बात करने का मौका हर बार किसी को मिलता नहीं है। अब तक जितने भी लोगों को मिले, बहुत कम लोगों को ही ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला है। और जॉइंट सेशन एड्रेस करने के लिए बाईपार्टिसान इनविटेशन आया है, मतलब दोनों रिपब्लिकन्स भी डेमोक्रेट्स भी प्रधानमंत्री जी को इनवाइट किए एड्रेस करने के लिए। इस विजिट के दौरान अच्छा सा बहुत सारे टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर रिलेटेड विषय भी, डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन की टेक्नोलॉजी जो आवश्यकता पड़ती है वो सब का भी, पर्टिकुलरली हिंदुस्तान एरोनॉटिक लिमिटेड के साथ जो बेंगलुरु में स्थित गवर्नमेंट की कंपनी है, उसके लिए भी टेक्नोलॉजी और इंजन प्रोडक्शन का जो एग्रीमेंट हुआ है वो मैं मानती हूं बहुत अहम है। फिर जॉब क्रिएटिंग विषय में भी एग्रीमेंट्स जो उधर हुआ है, उसके कारण इधर टेक्नोलॉजी आना, इधर इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ाना और गूगल जैसे कंपनी और ज्यादा कमिट करना कि हम आकर के भारत में पूंजी निवेश ले आएंगे, ऐसे करने से हमारी रोजगार बहुत लेवल तक बढ़ाने का संभावना है। फिर इजिप्ट के विषय में भी मैं ये बात आपके सामने रखना चाह रही हूं। दुनिया में मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन जहां मेजॉरिटी में है या ज्यादा संख्या में है, उनमें से 6वें स्थान पर है इजिप्ट। ऐसे देश में भारत के प्रधानमंत्री को सर्वोच्च एक सम्मान मिलना, ऑर्डर ऑफ नाइल मिलना, ये इसमें एक संदेश मिलता है कि ऐसे देशों में, ये प्रॉब्ली 6th कंट्री, इस्लामिक कंट्री जिसमें पॉपुलेशन ऑफ मुस्लिम ज्यादा है, ये ऐसे 6th कंट्री से भारत के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का ये अवार्ड मिलना बहुत ही संतोष का विषय है। अब तक 13 कंट्रीज से, इजिप्ट इंक्लूसिव 13 कंट्रीज से ऐसे हाईएस्ट ऑर्डर माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी को मिला हुआ है। इसीलिए मैं मानती हूं इजिप्ट के विषय में ग्रैंड मुफ्ती का स्थान बहुत अहम है। उन सोसाइटीज में मुफ्ती का स्थान बहुत ही सम्मानजनक माना जाता है। ग्रैंड मुफ्ती का भी प्रधानमंत्री जी से भेंट हुआ। फिर भारत के बोहरा कम्युनिटी इजिप्ट में बहुत अच्छा संख्या में प्रेजेंट है, वो उस कम्युनिटी से भी प्रधानमंत्री जी का मीटिंग हुआ। मैं मेरा ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट में इतना कहकर क्वेश्चंस के लिए छोड़ देती हूँ। पार्टी के ओर से हम माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी को बहुत ही हर्ष व्यक्त करते हैं और उनको बधाई भी देना चाहते हैं कि अवार्ड मिला है, और भारत के स्थान उनके मेहनत के कारण आज इतना ग्लोबल स्तर पर रिकग्निशन मिल रहा है। उसके लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी के ओर मैंने बहुत ही आनंद व्यक्त करना चाहती हूँ। थैंक यू।